Welcome to this channel. This channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So the purpose of this channel is to present the truth in Chinese culture, in Kung Fu, in Wing Chun, in meditations, in Buddhist teaching. It is very critical now that we know the truth, because if we don't know the truth, then we are wasting our time, we are wasting our life, and we are wasting other people's time and life. And we give room to all kinds of scam. In the past 100 years, in Chinese culture, be it in Kung Fu, meditation, and Qigong, it is full of those scams. You will never get result, but just talk, magic, fantasy, legends. And that must go. In one way, we need to respect what the ancient Chinese have and present it as it is. On the other way, we need to care for the people today who practice the Qigong, the martial art, the Wing Chun, the meditations. We need to give them a direction so that they be able to achieve their goal. There are many people who is sick and they practice Qigong, they practice meditations thinking that it can help them. There are many people who like to learn self-defense, and thus they study Kung Fu, Wing Chun, so that they can help themselves. Now, it is really important that they get result, or else it is a snake oil. It is not right to sell snake oil, because we need to care for other people. And that is why we need a proper education. Today, I like to share with you something really important. Today, I like to share with you the critical point in something called internal art. Doesn't matter, it's about Qigong, it's about meditation, it's about Wing Chun, it's about whatever. You must know this point. And as soon as you know this, you can look around to see who really is bullshitting you and who really have that art, the techniques which you want to learn. So let's begin. Before anything, I like to start with one thing. And that is, we all know Apple computer, Apple Incorporation today. Okay. Now, if you look at in the web, you can Google it. And this is February 2023. Over here, it said that Apple's near bankruptcy in 1990s was a turning point for the company. It forced the company to reevaluate its business strategy and product, and it paved the way for the company's resurgence as a technology leader today. Wing Chun has reached this point, near bankruptcy. Well, is Wing Chun that bad? No, it's like Apple. People just have to face reality and clean up the mess and going in the proper directions. It is a natural that things fail. And those who have a clear-minded be able to turn it back. Well, I believe there are at least hundreds of thousands of Wing Chuners in this world. I believe there are a lot of talented people there. There are a lot of smart people there. And thus, Wing Chun can be another Apple. Why settle for all those garbage? Why settle for bankruptcy? Well, as you all know, my occupations, my professional is actually in design, in chip design. Actually, I love technology. Actually, I follow up with all this thing on technology development. And so Wing Chun have no different than this. And the future of the Wing Chun, is it bankruptcy or you want it to become a technology leader 20, 30 years later? That's up to the people. I am here in this channel with all my books I wrote. I can only come in technology, like a R&D, research and development department of the company. I can pump as much technology in. However, it is the people have to decide, what do you want? I just do my job, okay? And it is at this point of near bankruptcy, we better be straight, put everything under the sun so that everybody know the truth, so that everybody get result and everybody happy. Like Apple's investor today, everybody who have the stocks of Apple today, they are happy. Everybody who work with Apple, they are happy. What do you think if a corporation's bankruptcy? How is the worker? How much worker is there will get laid off out of job? People need to think that way instead of just create all kinds of nonsense and continue on when the direction is already screwed up. Now, for past 2 days, I have been sharing 2 videos. This video, let's clean up Wing Chun mess with technical details based on Chinese history and today's science. This video is about technology. No, it is not about sentiment on I am belong to this most authentic Wing Chun school. My grandmaster is the king of Wing Chun. It is not. It is all about technology. Okay, so this is what it is, technology. Such as if you want to make a war, you better know your opponent, what type of weapon they have. Are you using a spear to against a bazooka? Or a spear to against a nuclear bomb? Better get it clear, okay? Don't stuck in that, I want to be a warrior, I train harder. Sorry, people who have missile, they train very different than you with a spear. And with the spear, you never beat them. You, in fact, will get wiped out. Okay? So that's about technology. That's what needs to be known. It's not like, oh yeah, my grandfather is the the king of Wing Chun. I learned from my grandfather, thus you learn from me. Then this is the most authentic Wing Chun. And this is the thing which is can conquer the world. Who are you kidding? Since ancient, the Chinese didn't say that. So that's in this here. In this, only Wing Chun 1850s classic writing can save today's Wing Chun mass and historic disaster. In this video, I share with you that Wing Chun ancient writing is like a patent, a US patent. You need to know how to read it. You need to have the professional grade to be able to read it, to understand what the heck inside there, technical details, the prior arts, and everything. There's no such thing as create all kind of legends and then make up all kind of stories. The ancients, the Chinese, the writing, be it in Qigong, in martial art, like in Wing Chun, or in the military by Qi Ji Guang, all is like today's US pattern. It is a really clearly detailed, described thing. It's not up for everybody, anybody's philosophy or interpretation. It is a technology. So these two videos, I share what 99.999% of the Wing Chuners have not heard for past 150 years since they design or develop or create that 4 sets of Wing Chun. And you might question me, well, Henry, can you prove that? Sure. That's why I bring you to today. Let's get into the core. Internal. Because we know the technology, we know the pattern, the technical writing. Let's go into the internal core of the arts. So here on, there are no such thing as I am the king of Wing Chun. I know the internal. Oh, my Xiu Lim Tao is internal. My this is internal. My that is internal. Here on, no such thing. And there's no such thing as I go learn the secret Tai Chi sets, and then I incorporate with the Wing Chun. Now I become an internal Wing Chun. Forget about it. Okay. So from the technology, from the pattern-like detailed descriptions of the technology, and today's the core of technology, if we know that, we can handle the technology and we know what is real, what is fake, and avoid the fake thing with all costs. Not to mention, I want to share with you that today we can verify our training with science, sports science, medical science. That's how far we want to get. If you want to turn around from bankruptcy to a leader in technology, or else, you know it is bankruptcy. So this is the writing of Wing Chun Xiu Lim Tao sets. Again, this Xiu Lim Tao is not today's 4 sets Xiu Lim Tao little idea. This is the essence of detailed training. As in this video, I have shared with you the essence of detailed training, meaning that it have a lot of technical details need to be known. Okay. Now, also, this thing is like your US pattern. You better know the prior art, the content, the details, the claim, all the technical details. Well, you need to know that. To what? To make it happen. Why do you need a lifetime to guess what is a pattern? Where if you follow whatever in the pattern within a limited time, a few hours, a few days, you can develop whatever in the pattern. That is the name of the game. Nobody have one lifetime to keeping preaching on the legends of ancient China where it never happened, or keep doing something. You will get it someday, and you look into past 100 years, nobody got it. Okay? So it is like this pattern. Now, this is what it is. Now, is this the internal stuff? Yes, it is the internal stuff. In fact, the first line of this quit is the critical point of internal stuff. You want to talk about qi, you want to talk about jing, you want to talk about everything, you need to be able to develop, to get into the first line's teaching, to get result from this first line teaching. In the China, the Chinese Kung Fu, or even in India's yoga, if you violating this first line, it's guaranteed that you go nowhere. To make it very simple for you today, that first line, which is saying that in today's very simple term, call yourself back while you are in a proper stance. So what is call yourself back while you're while you are in the proper stance? Well, that is simple. That is simply to get yourself in the intelligent world, enter into the natural world. Anything you want to develop on your qi, your internal, the first step is you must cross from the intelligent world to the natural world. Intelligent world is the world you keeping thinking, you create history, you say this grandmaster is better than grandmaster, that grandmaster, I'm better fighter than you, blah, 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 all this kind of thing. You must drop that and be able to get into the natural world, the world like a baby, the world like the water, the forest, the wind. You must get into that. And that is what the first line of the Wing Chun tell you. Call yourself back. That is what it means. And it means you pass through the boundary of the intelligent world, entering into the natural world. Now, in the Buddhist teaching, this is called the practice of samatha. In today's language, we call it the calmness meditations. Okay? There's the practice to get one into this world. And that is what is in the first line of the Shu Lim Tao, the essence of detailed trainings. The first practice you must get into the natural world. Via what? Via the calmness meditations. You use the Buddhism's terms is called the Samatha practice. Remember, Wing Chun is from what? It's from Buddhism, Buddha's teaching. That's what it is. Okay? Now, if you have this capability, your calmness will grow, get deepened. And this is how it is. As the calmness deepens, first you'll be able to rest as need. You can enter into the states of natural world and rest. When your calmness go increasing or deepen, you have the basic body-mind handling. If you get more deeper, then you have the effective body-mind handling. That is where the Qigong state. And you can go inside more. Okay, so if you want to have a Fa Jing or whatever using your Yi and Qi, you better get there. Or else this is nonsense. In today's world, people love to talk philosophy, concept, whatever here. And yet they never even have entered into the natural world. So everything is what? It's bullshit. Even like today's, we talk about the mindfulness. Well, that's not what the Buddha mean. And in fact, people who do those mindfulness, counting breath and everything, majority of them, even if they call that is samatha, like from the Buddhism, they never really enter into the natural world. They are only here fantasizing things. Okay? So the first step is, can you enter into the natural world? If you want to talk about internal, your qi, your mind, whatever, yi or whatever. And the requirement of the Xu Lin Tao sets in the 1850 is the first thing you must enter into the natural world. Now, as for the samatha and vipassana practice, I just have a podcast with Mark Wiley's here in the from the Tambuli Media. Please watch it so that you can see the meditation, Qigong, and Buddhism, and all those base of what is the truth there. Okay? So you can please check on this video. Okay, this is the thing you need to know. Now, you probably ask me, Hendrik, is it true? Is that true? Well, let me share with you. The real burning of Shaolin happened in 1920s. 1920s. It is not like in the Shaolin movie, Hong Kong movie, Chinese movie. Oh yeah, you know, the Qing burn your Shaolin temple. It's not that. The real burning of Shaolin is in the early 1900s. The warlord burning the Shaolin temple. And this is the practice of the Shaolin prior to the burning. The Qi, the internal, and so forth. Okay? This is the ancient writing and drawing, as what I mentioned before, is like a pattern. This is the descriptions in today's language on what is the practice is about. Now, if you look at this, this is step one. He said that you want to reach into your mind is coming down. Okay? And then you count your breath. after your mind is coming down, meaning calling yourself back, and then you start the breath counting, of course, in this stance. In this stance, it's not in your today's E.G. Kamyong-ma stance, which is, it is completely problematic, okay? The stance is the stance. So it said that you need to call yourself back in a proper stance, and then you start the breath counting. This is what? This is the Buddha's teaching of Anapanasati, the very basic of Anapanasati, which is a samatha practice, stillness or the calmness meditation practice. So if you want to learn Qi Gong, internal Qi martial arts, hey man, you need to get that. And as I share with you, 170 years ago, the Wing Chun in 1850, that is the first line. Okay? So we need to have a bullshit detector. Whoever tell you internal, the Qi, whatever, but it doesn't tell you that you need to enter into the natural world or call yourself back. You know it's nonsense. You know they never develop anything. Okay? Now, of course, there's another one. This is the first steps, and then this is a steps. This is a 49. Here it said that you recite the Buddha's name, like Amitabha Buddha, to settle your mind, and you sing Qi to your Dantian, so that the external stuff cannot influence you. This is where you develop your Kung Fu, and this is how you be able to get healthy. Okay? Away from sickness. So this is reality. So the first key, here on, anybody talk about internal, you ask them, so how is your way of doing the calmness meditations, calling yourself back in one way, as what today today's language, call yourself back. If you cannot call yourself back, like over here, you call yourself back, you quiet down, you don't know internal. Okay? Now you know. You have to remember on this. Don't buy into I'm the Taoist, I'm the monk, I am whatever. Show me your process, your technology, how to call yourself back, and others which is fit into the samatha of the Buddha's teaching. It doesn't matter even if you are Taoist. As soon as you're human, you have to go enter to the natural world in order to do the job. Okay? Now, this is also the reason the Western sports science today have its edge, but the ancient Chinese Kung Fu and internal have its edge, because this part of thing in the West, you don't have it that deep yet. The Indian yoga, the real thing, have this. The Chinese have this, but the Western sports science and so forth, they do not have this in-depth stuff or this technology yet. Okay? Now, so you know here on, if you want to learn Qi, internal, whatever, Nei Gong, Qi Gong, whatever, you use this, enter into the natural world or call yourself back as the bullshit detector. Now, often when I share this kind of thing, there are many people who like to negate me. There are many people who practice the 4 sets of Wing Chun. Today it's like to negate me. Oh, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't show anything. Hendrik, it's just your theory, blah, blah, blah. Even though it is, the ancient Chinese have this writing down. In Buddhism, it's writing down. In Shaolin, very clearly in detail, it was written down, but people still challenge me that way or want to negate what I'm saying because they are grandmaster. Well, let me share with you. I'm a technical person like engineer, like all engineers who work with science. It is okay to argue technical details because I never always right. I can be wrong. Like in the science, like in the university. But when people do not have the understanding on the topic, but playing those kinds of approval game, like whatever you say, they just negate you. No, this is what I have a better. I'm my grandmaster and all things. I don't give face to that. So what did I do with all this? I wrote 2 books. And within the 2 books, it is the Chinese part, the Wing Chun 1850s part, the Buddhism part there. And I map into sports science and medical science. So all those parts, you say, oh, you can become healthy, you can have a recovery, you can develop your chi and so forth. We know today it is under the recovery in today's science. And so I map it into the heart rate zone. And now, this is heart rate measurement. This is your breathing rate measurement. This is your heart rate variability measurement. This is your brainwave measurements. So when people love to play those nonsense negating while they have no idea what the heck is going on, I put it straight to them. Like any engineer in the valley, in the Silicon Valley, like we work, you don't bullshit people when you want to talk technical. You talk politely, you talk reasonably, you talk rationally. So when people pulling those kind of game, I ask them, why don't you got your grand teacher, your grandmaster, your entire lineage to share with you, to show me, put that in the under the heart rate, respiration rate, heart rate variability, and the brain wave. Show me that you'll be able to do it. If you cannot do it, get your grandmaster or your king of Wing Chun to do it. I do that because I'm a technical person. There's no room for bullshit. There's no room for playing expert. Why? A long time ago, I designed an airbag system. This is about 20, 30 years ago. Airbag system. Do you know how serious is you need to design an airbag system? Today, all cars come with airbags, so many airbags. Okay? Do you know how serious is that? Today, we have airbags in our car and we don't even know about it. But at that time, when the car still in the beginning of designing of airbag, It is really serious stuff. Why? Because people die in car crash. Because you don't have the airbag to protect you. So this first line, this enter into the natural world, this calmness meditation, which you have the base from the Buddha's teaching, you base from the Shaolin, the base from the 1850s Wing Chun, all are the technical base, which is needed in order to be able to get result from the practice, to be able to help oneself. And so, because I know many people love to play this expert thing, now I map it into the medical science and sports science. Your heart rate, tracking your vital signs, tracking your breathing rate, tracking your heart rate variability, tracking your brainwave. Now let's see, what do you have? So for the people who don't understand, who ask me, like you ask any engineer here, proper engineer, you make a mistake, you don't understand, you go ask people properly, politely, rationally. Well, you can even argue, and people is willing to share with you, because most people in this world are good people. People don't step on you or bully you, because all the high educated people, all the capable people don't do those. As what I said, the design of airbag. They know if the airbag screw up, people die, okay? They care for the people. Not only they just want to make the money. So, it's just plain straight, I tell you, I map this thing in science now, it's measurable. That's why I have all this top of the line fitness tracker, because I need to walk my talk. And guess what? Because I can walk my talk, you can get it too. You are not going to practice this reading this thing like the Chinese character for the entire life and guessing for entire life and go nowhere. No, we don't have time for that bullshit. We want it now, like the pattern. Make it happen, okay? There's no point to screw other people. Not to mention that there's no point to screw the consumer selling nonsense. So, in this book, Wing Chun Inception, I have a process called N1 process. N1 process is the process of handling the body enter into the natural world in this level, where you can help yourself to do deep recovery, and you can check your heart rate, breathing rate, and the heart rate variability. You can know that for practice of the 10 hours, you need only 10 hours of practice. You will be able to get result. Okay, so that means you'll be able to know exactly what is the first line of the 1850s writing of the Wing Chun Xiu Lim Tao practice teach. So is it important to go this far? I told you already, just to ward off all those nonsense people who like to play approval game and all this thing. There's no room for that in technical world. The second thing is this. There are many people who is sick, ill, poor health. Sometimes when they go through treatment, they went home. Let me just tell you straight. There are friends who have cancer and need to do chemotherapy. after the chemotherapy, so sad that they cannot sleep. They couldn't even lay down and sleep. Do you know how painful is that? So they do the N1 process. They do the N1 process. Of course, they once they know the N1 process, I share with you just now, in as in the my book Wing Chun Inception, they practice. They bought the Garmin watch, Apple Watch. They practice it. They know they got it. So when they come back from the say the chemotherapy, they practice it. Even though they cannot sleep, they can help them to rest. Do you know how difficult is it when you're sick? You go to therapy and you cannot sleep. So is all this kind of thing helping you make you invincible or become a Superman? Of course not. Of course not. But as we know, in all this calmness meditations research in Harvard or all this university, it helps us so that we can work with our medical team to further help us. Okay? So it has to be get this real. And that's here. The Qi neurosync training and the deep recovery. So yesterday in this video, I share with you on the strengthening training. The 2 levels of strengthening training, how you want to handle your breathing in fighting, how you handle your intra-abdominal pressure. You need this part too. If you don't have this, you don't have the way to do recovery. And you need to build up from here up. Because if you jump in here, you got all kinds of problems. If you don't have this level of training, you can get what today we call the aerobic deficiency syndrome, where you don't have aerobic endurance. So the ancient Chinese, the ancestor, the Wing Chun 1850, they know all of this. The Qi neurosync, the fitness training equal to today's aerobic endurance. The Qi neurosync is equivalent to today's deep recovery. The strengthening training is today's like the lactic threshold training, the really extreme training, your HIIT training and so forth. It is 2023. There's no bullshit, okay? The Chinese know this. The Wing Chun ancestor know this. We can prove it today with this. I am not the grandmaster. I am not the best fighter or anything like that. But the last thing before I retire, last year, I wrote this book with every measurement using my body to show what you see is what you get. Okay? All this graph is from, you can see, like here is, okay, right here, this saying that track with Hendrix Apple Watch. Going extreme, now, I wrote a book like this, as I show you just now, which is in the Wing Chun Inception, where all the Qi flow and all those things share is explained here. Same thing. You have the enter into the natural world. You have the measurement. The tracking. The tracking. So that's how far we have gone. The ancient, we verify with the science. If I can do it, if you have a health, a proper health, you should be able to do it too. And as in this book, I always think that before you do certain thing, and I pointed out that, like over here, you can do this thing, you can do this aerobic, like all today's in all this, like the diabetic society, the heart society. This is a common fitness exercise workout for us, which is not dangerous. But when you go higher and higher, and at some case, you need to know that in the strengthening training, it can be dangerous. So all those things you need to check with your medical care doctor. You don't go, you don't know about the recovery, you don't have aerobic training to develop the aerobic endurance. Right away, you jump into, oh, I want to be gung-ho or the best fighter in the Wing Chun. You do that, you drop that, okay? Now, like the tragic of Bruce Lee, that is because he is not living today. He's living 60 years ago. He don't have all this information. He don't have the Chinese information. He don't have the Western science, sports science information like we have today. So it's a tragic. And today, we must avoid all those tragic. Okay? So this is how far it is. Now, you see, so don't tell me about, oh yeah, my foresight is better than yours. What you show in Chinese, it doesn't mean anything. Well, let's forget about those Chinese writing and your foresight, my one set or whatever. Hell, let's get into Western science, medical science, sports science. Show it. If you don't have that, you don't know how to get it. It's better to shut up. Why? What is the point to screw other people? And you know you don't have it anyway. You don't have that Kung Fu. And Kung Fu today, Chinese Kung Fu today, be able to show in medical, in the medical science and sports science and all your vital monitoring, as what I share with you and I share with you in the past video. Okay, today is for the recovery part. The past video is for the strengthening part. I share with you that. Okay, now, get it clear? Number one, anybody want to tell you about they have this internal, really deep, really magical sets or Wing Chun or meditation or Qigong? You ask them. So how are you calling yourself back? I want the process. How many hours can I get it? As what I share with you. And one process from this, if you spend 10 hours, you got it. Doesn't mean that you're advanced, but you at least you cross the line, the boundary from the intelligent to world to the natural world. At least you know what it is. It's like you say apple. taste of apple. And we got one slice of apple to eat. We know what is the taste of the apple. Even though we are not the apple expert to say, oh, this is the Granny Smith apple, this is the Fuji apple, this is this apple, this. We are not that expert, but at least that we know that is the taste of apple. Instead of you sitting down there, you never taste any apple, and then you keeping philosophize the entire thing. And then you say, well, this is secret. You pay me more money. It's time to stop the entire nonsense for that. You want to talk about that? How many hours to get there? And how are we going to verify with the sports science? Didn't today's like in the Olympic training and every training have this? And we want to see what is the ancient teaching, what is today's science, and what is the data from your heart rate, from your breathing rate, from your brain wave, from your heart rate variability, or from your VO2 max. Okay? Now, so I hope that this you clear now. This is very clear. Nobody can mess around now here on with all this mumbo jumbo woo-woo stuff. Now, talk about the 4 sets. Well, I'm sharing here not to put down anybody, but thing has to be clear out. This is the writing of very small part of the 1850 Xiu Lim Tao writing. This is today's Xiu Lim Tao writing, which is designed in 1870. If you look at that, in 1850s writing, the first thing I just share with you, call yourself back in a proper stance, okay? Or you collect your intentions, meeting with your spirit, or meeting with your awareness. But if you know it, you have tasted the slice of apple, you know that this is in the Western world, it is call yourself back. Call yourself back, okay? That's the first thing. You call yourself back in a proper, in a comfortable position, physical state, and you come down. That is the calmness meditation. So it doesn't matter it's Buddhist, it is our Western religion, prayers, Indian yoga. Hey man, we are human. We are not from Venus, or I'm from Venus, you're from Mars. And here is talk about the Dantian, how your meridians and everything, which I share with you here, you know, what is all this thing in meridians and the chi flow and all this thing. So this entire thing within that, because it's such details, you have the 6 core element, the body, the mind, the breathing, the chi, energy flow, the strength, directions of strength, action, reaction, force in your body, and the momentum. This is here. You look at the 1870s Wing Chun, which is the 4 sets. This is the 4 sets, the little idea sets. Okay, this is the entire writing or quit of the little idea set. This is recorded in 1890, and it is the teaching of 1870. Liang Zhan, Tai Hua Ming Gam, all is using this. Today we know that by the way how they practice. This is only talk about techniques. Okay, like white crane playing with the water, the snake return to the hole. Okay, this type of stuff, very different. This is, you know, like white crane play with water, snake return to the hole. The 1850 is not. The 1850 is you call yourself back in the proper stance. When your both hands raise up, there's a yin and yang. The yin and yang meaning all these meridians. How you activate that, the yin side and the yang side, so that you be able later on to know. This is in the Wing Chun Inception. All this meridian, the channel, and how all these things flow in your body. So 1850 is that. It's like a pattern. You get entire thing is all talk about all those 6 core elements: the body, the mind, the breathing, the energy, channel handling, the strength, and the momentum. Okay, like for example, this one. Okay, 单横相称和气印, meaning that, you know, remember in the Xiu Lim Tao, you have this, the push, usually in today's Xiu Lim Tao, that is not as what you practice in today, but there is a part which is exerting strength that way. So you say that when you're exerting strength, how you need to integrate with your breathing to transport the strength, to exert the strength. Well, as over here is all white crane, have the wing, and like this, I just shared with you. White crane play with water, snake go back to the hole. Okay, so that's why today's Wing Chun, be it in the Tai Fa Ming Gam or in the Leong Zhan lineage, is all techniques. It doesn't have this 6 core element, and it is not the essence of detailed training. It is named for whatever reason they call it the small idea. Okay, so the 6 core element is here in this book, the basic, really basic. Okay, and you need to know the 6 core element if you want to handle this 1850s writing. And you know that writing is like a pattern. You want to read a circuit pattern, you better know the basic of the circuit. That's how it is. So this is what I like to share with you. So number one thing here on, don't tell me this, oh, I have the Xiu Lim Tao. This is internal. According to which grandmaster? Stop that. That doesn't work, sorry. Since ancient, whenever it get into internal, disregard if it is Buddhist, it is a Taoist, as soon as it's from China, the legit one, you know, you need to call yourself back. And that is based on, like in the Buddha's teaching, the Samatha teaching, or the Confucius, the Chinese have the Confucius school, Kongzi school, is that you have to settle 止后能定，定后能静, okay? Meaning that you need to settle yourself first. Same thing, the Chinese, be it in the Buddhist or in the Confucius teaching. Okay, and then only that after this, let me share with you more about the 6 core element. The first core, even everything is one, but when you handle it, you need to have the body in the proper position, and then you calm down your mind. And only when your mind is calmed down, your breathing, you can train your breathing. So as in here in this Shaolin teaching, You see, at first, he said that you need to calm your mind down, and then you start the counting of breath. So it's not like today, oh, go count your breath. I mean, you don't call yourself back. How the hell are you going to count your breath? And also, counting the breath is not like today, you count your breath. No. In any human's breathing, after you inhale, there's a rest or pause there in your breathing. And then you exhale, there's a pause there. When you're counting your breath, actually, you're counting this pause after the breathing, after the exhale. Okay? So it's not all counting breathing. Oh, just 1, 2, 3. No. It is like the body the body settle down, the mind settle down, and then the breathing settle down. And then when you're aware of your exhale, at the end of exhale, you aware that there's a pause, a rest there. You neither exhale or inhale. You count that. And that's where you get deeper into quiet or silence. So this is the thing I like to share with you. Don't be naive, okay? And so we back to this again. To turn around from bankruptcy to a leader of technology, we need to know that it is about technology. We need to know how to read the ancient stuff and the ancient art like a pattern. And we need to know the details of it, be it in the Qi neurosing or the recovery, the fitness training, or today's language is aerobic-based training, strengthening training, or your lactate threshold training, or your anaerobic trainings, or anaerobic endurance training. You need to know everything of them. So, real deal is not you spend 1,000 years guessing there or a lifetime. Oh, I just practice this. I just doing my Xiu Lim Tao, and someday, voila, I'll get there. It's not. Something can be done in 3 months. You don't wait for 1,000 years, okay? And that got back too. It keep everybody honest with all this tracker. You can only teach what you can show in here. As I share with you, I can only teach whatever I can share here, and I can understand properly. I can measure, verify with science, or else what Sifu, what Grandmaster. So like the other day, I talked about the Qi Ji Guang, the general Qi Ji Guang, the technology of fighting. There are 32 combinations. There are 32 combinations. Each is one combination with the writing. Each one is a combination with the writing. Combination means say this one. There are 32 of this type of stuff, this one combinations. It is this. It is this type of combination. So even though they draw you just one, they writing here, it means this combination, and you can keep changing at the instant you're using it. So this is the 1850s 1560 Wing Chun. If you don't have this technology, what the heck it is? You want to fight, you want to fight. On the other hand, you want to train internal, you want to train out your body to be able to take impact, to be able to have stamina. What are you doing? And that's why I say, for 100 years, how many people know this? Now, I'm saying this today as what I say. In order to reverse that going downward to the bankruptcy, back to the leader, we need science, we need technology, we need reasonable, we need verifications. We need a lot of people. And we need the truth. Or else we're screwing everybody. Everybody, just hug each other going down to the sink ship. You can keeping argue nonsense. Negate, oh, this is not right, that's not right, your seafood this, my seafood that. You spend 100 years already on that. What do you get? And you know that Bruce Lee said, oh, no, I have enough of it. I'm going to go get my, start my Jeet Kune Do. Okay, you guys Wing Chun are just land swimming like all other Chinese martial arts, like yesterday I shared with you, by evidence. So right now you have a choice. My duty, I retire already. My duty is I leave you with all this, what the ancient said. I map it into the science already. That's my duty. I'm out of the picture. You want to go bankrupt or you want to go become the leader of the technology? That's up to you. I done my duty. Okay? But if I don't address this, it's not right. Because there are many people who believe, who are loyal, who devote to Wing Chun. They deserve to know the truth. Okay? And as what I shared with you just now on the 1870 and 1850s, comparing the writing on the content, that's not to put down anybody. That is to know what type of technology is that. Instead of keeping saying, well, I have this, and you talk so much on techniques. What do you got? So with this video, this is the third one. I have shared with you a big picture of what is going on, what I know, what I spent 50 years of my life to track in, to dig in all what the heck is going on. Why is it so screwed up? Now I tell you, you are free to do whatever on what I'm sharing with you. But if you want result, for heaven's sake, you need to follow what the teaching of the ancient. You need to be verified with today's sports science. And for those who keeping want to argue on negate things, where they, no matter what they know or they don't, they like to argue and negate things. Well, sorry, I don't have time to waste with that. And those type of behavior, attitude, you go to any professional circle, people will not talk to you. Why? Because nobody want to waste time. You don't know nothing anyway.